Welcome to Speaking Of, I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
And let's see if we can do it, because lately when we do our Viewers of the Week, we tend to go off, not that we don't go on tangents all the time, but
It's true.
We've been not very good at getting to the point. Surprise!
Shocker!
Who's our Viewer of the Week? Our Viewer of the Week this week is Stanley Walker. After all these years, he still holds no resentment about us giving him the pink slip.
Who says he's gotten a pink slip?
Oh, do we have him on retainer?
Yes. He and Tina Fey.
Tina Fey.
Are both on retainer.
I was going to say.
Speaking of Tina Fey.
Oh, gads.
So, she's in my basement. On top of like...
For a minute, I thought you were going to segue to Tina Fey, and I thought, Tina Fey is in my basement.
So my crawl space is full. Never mind that noise you hear, that pounding.
Let me out!
So Tina Fey is in my basement, like at the top of a
Right.
CD tower or something.
Right.
So Kenny goes down to the basement office to do his thing, and he's like, "What's up with that?" Because she's just like...
Speaking of Tina Fey, did I tell you FAO went out of business in New York?
Whoa, what?
Like, so this is how out of it we are. People in New York are like, yeah, that was 6 months ago. It literally was. So, like, when we were there last, if we had made the journey to go there, we would have been very disappointed and angry. So,
I am disappointed and angry right now.
Anyway, so I can't believe I've forgotten to tell you this, because, like, when I
You
found
knew that it
out,
would
I was like,
traumatize me.
oh my gosh,
That's
I'm
like
glad
a
we
special
didn't do
place.
it. It is.
How could... What? Who let this happen?
Well,
Giuliani?
So this is the problem.
Not
Like
him
they
anymore?
went. I know Giuliani was like 5 years ago. Probably even more than that. But no, they went bankrupt because of all of their overpriced toys. Because FAO was always the rich kids'
It was,
toy
but
store.
at what point does it not occur to them that maybe we need to knock our prices down? We'd rather go bankrupt and disappear.
So they're
That's
gonna
the better option?
come back at some point, because get this, Toys R Us bought them. So anyway,
Okay, that was the beauty of FAO Schwartz, was that they weren't Toys R Us.
right?
Nothing
But-
against Toys R Us.
No,
Not
we
that
do
there's
like our
anything wrong
Toys
with
R Us.
that. However,
There was just something about FAO.
right.
So, speaking of puppets, I have this student
Who's a puppet?
she likes to just use
There
her
are no
hand.
strings on me.
She just uses her hand, and she will talk to her puppet, and the puppet will sometimes talk to you. And so, at work, we were like, it's terrible that we were laughing so hard about this, but we're like, what happens if she were to get lost? Like, she's out somewhere. Puppet? Where are we? I don't know. Where are we? Puppet, what will we do? I don't know. How will we get home?
Does she call it puppet? I love that part. That's my favorite
And
part.
it's just her hand. I've been meaning to show her how to do, like, one of those foldable, like, paper puppets that she could use, but...
No, this is better. You know what you should do is get her like a sock that has googly eyes on top.
Oh, it's just funny. It's just fun to watch, because sometimes,
Puppet.
she'll
I love
get
that
done.
she calls it
and
puppet.
she has an internal dialogue with it as well. Where you're like, what's Puppet saying? Puppet's not
'cause
telling
she's like
you to
just
kill.
doing this, and you don't know what's going
No,
on.
that's why I said we're worried,
Wow.
as long as she's not telling her to kill, then we're fine.
Wow.
What is Puppet saying today?
I wish I had a puppet. Like the puppet. Like puppet.
Like, Puppet.
I love puppets.
You can call it Puppet. You can call Tina Fey. You can change her name to Puppet. Miss Puppet.
But remember, speaking of puppets, remember when we went
Wow.
to the Toy Soup comedy show, and he had a puppet at the end, and we were mad that they didn't use it? So they do improv, and they do their
Right.
whole little thing, and then after they're done, they come out,
Right.
and he's got this
got a
cool puppet, and he's like,
They didn't
oh
use-
yeah, I just have him, I don't know, I was going to use him. Well, you shoulda.
Anytime you think you're going to use a puppet, the answer is always yes.
Do it!
But we do love the Toy Soup, and we do need to have them on the show.
Yes, we do.
And I don't know, though. I'm a little worried. Like, people will
They're gonna
realize that...
upstage us.
Exactly. They'll be like, oh, they're actually funny.
Yeah, about that.
They got a podcast, too.
They do. They do.
So,
They
yeah.
do.
Wow. Look at us whoring out Toy Soup. But
I know. They're fun.
free publicity. We do enjoy them, though.
We do.
So, Speaking of my students, I have one more story to tell.
Great.
So I've told stories before about how, I have people walking in at the worst possible time. So, like, I have people bowing to me, calling me the Dark Lord, and then somebody from the district comes in. Told that story. So, this week, I'm walking with a student, and our speech pathologist comes down the hall. And, of course, this is the part of the conversation that she picks up. No, you may not go to prison. Prison will eat you alive.
You may not go to prison
So,
because we're asking for permission to go.
no. So this conversation actually started out, so she comes up to me. I'm a little concerned about this conversation. Rightly so. But I said, I'm about to make you more concerned because this conversation started with, Mr. Vincent, can I lead a life of crime?
Not if you're going to get caught.
So
And you would get caught.
Yes, so that's what led to my comment of, no, you may not, because prison will eat you alive. Just calling it how it is.
Speaking of walking into the conversation at the wrong time. Recently, I was having a conversation with a 12-year-old who...
We know way too many 12-year-olds.
It is amazing to me that after all this time, they still let us interact with the youth of this generation. Because they
Somebody's got to.
I tell you. So,
Anyway.
She's talking to me. She was talking about jelly beans. And she kept saying that she didn't like the black liquor flavored.
The black liquor.
So I had to correct her and I was like, you mean licorice? I keep... And then again later she called it liquor again and I said, should we be having a conversation? Is there something that we need to discuss that, and she's like, no. And so I said, maybe you should just think of it this way. This is the point at which one of the other adults starts listening in.
See.
And here's me say, just think of it like this. It's like liquor. Ish. The other adult
It's
is
non-alcoholic.
yeah, she's like, I'm like, no, trust me. This is coming around the circle to the good side. Okay, this is the positive end of the conversation that you're listening to. It's like licorice.
So speaking of youth and liquor,
At least he didn't say euthanasia.
you already know this story, but I'm going to share it with the interwebs.
Liquor.
So, well, no, misinterpretation. So I had a
that's
student,
better.
and she's a bit on the shorter side.
She's fun size.
She's fun size, and she's not like a dwarf or anything. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's not.
We love our dwarf.
We do. We really
audience.
do. We do. It's okay. It's okay. So, one of the other students is pointing out, oh, you're so short. And she says, I will have you know that I was in the hospital for 7 days and they were trying to get me high. To which, we're not even going to...
It would never take a hospital 7 days to get you high. First of all.
So, we're not even going to talk about the whole 7-day factor. So, my concern is, so I look at her and I'm like, do you mean tall? And she says, is there a difference? To which I reply, yes. I said, it depends on what you want people thinking about you.
I do like that part.
And from there, we had a conversation about the difference between words and how high means different things. And
Oh my goodness.
I said, I just don't want people getting the wrong idea, is all. I worry.
7 days.
7 days to get me high. She has a strong tolerance, I'll tell you what.
I was kind of hoping that she would start with, for the record. That's my new favorite. For the record. Look.
Oh,
I just like these short little phrases that are just the same as like a blaring siren, that warns you something's coming.
Get out of my face.
Do I have one? Do I have one of those phrases?
I'm sure you do. Yours is more the look, though, that I can tell.
I think mine's like listen.
Oh, you do listen, yes. Listen.
Listen.
Yes, listen.
Pal.
Bub.
Sparky.
Sparky. That's my favorite. So...
Listen, loser. Not you. Not you.
Winners only watch Speaking Of.
Only winners watch Speaking
Or
Of.
only winners watch Speaking Of.
Winners only watch Speaking Of. Speaking of, only watching Speaking Of. There's a reason that Brinkerhoff has not been viewer of the week.
What? Why?
Because
He was the one that hit our post, wasn't he? Somebody hit our post and we will find you.
Wow. Here's what Brinkerhoff did. We had discussed a couple of episodes, and the next day I'm chatting with him, and I'm like, so, did you watch any Speaking of last night? And he's like, no, I was so tired. I just watched a couple episodes of Angel and went to sleep. And
Angel?
I said, yeah, and I said,
mean, don't get me wrong, Angel, but
this is what
couple
I said.
episodes, that's 3 hours.
Right? I'm like, you could have watched a couple episodes of Speaking of, and Angel ain't going to make, viewer of the week. And frankly, neither are we at this rate.
No.
Come on now, do us right.
What you need to be is patient. Speaking of patience.
Speaking of patience.
Kate already knows where this story is going.
This was great. I'm sorry that we do not have it on the record.
And I really wish I had, because, yeah, it occurred to me that I should be recording it, but then I was worried he would freeze up. So anyway, to bring you up to speed, gentle viewer.
Oh, so gentle.
Oh, so gentle and tame and kind to
I
all
could
living creatures, great and small. So we're here at the studio, and one of our minions, how old is he?
How old is he?
5?
The little one.
6.
6!
We don't like to know these things because it just makes us feel older.
Like, we need more
So,
of that.
I'm waiting for Kate. She's in makeup,
I was in
taking
the
her
green
time,
room.
as she does. Are you done yet? Because we all know it's me. And I'm sitting there. Are you done yet? The minion's talking to me. Let's go. I gotta make polite conversation with the 6-year-old. Come on, move it along. So, to which he promptly comes out, though, and says, Jared, you need patience. Patience? What is this patience? It's when you be quiet.
You need to not talk and have patience.
You need to not talk and have patience. Well,
so
show
Jared
me.
being Jared.
And sadly, this is how I am at work, too. This is not good.
Poor children.
Poor children I've scarred for life. Well, what's patience looking like? Not talking. That just sounds like a bummer. I want to talk. Kate, are you done yet? No, Jared, you need patience. Patience looks like this. And then he stands rigid.
You need to stop talking and have patience.
You need to stop talking. And I'm like, you mean I can't talk? I can't even get out my phone and be like texting my friends and what are you doing and looking at Facebook? No, Jared, patience. You need to sit down like this. And so then he sits down and the same solemn, somber look. Just like that. You don't talk at all? No. Patience, Jared. Patience.
And of course, Jared keeps saying, so I can't talk at all to be patient. No. So I
can't go knock
and
on
then-
the door?
And then he's over there going, so like this? No, stop talking. Okay, so you mean like this? No, stop talking and have patience.
It was great. I love children for that reason.
When he needs therapy later, producer, don't call us. Forget the college fund, because we know where the money's going.
Years and years of therapy. Well, on that note,
Speaking of therapy,
therapy.
do you need yours yet?
We're not paying for that either.
Have we pushed you far enough? There's when you click play or subscribe, you're automatically signing a waiver that says we don't have to pay for your therapy. Because
Right?
pretty confident you're gonna need some. My therapist needed therapy, and so now I have none.
All right, we're wrapping up. I decided.
Patience.
Patience until the next Speaking Of episode is uploaded. We know you can do it. Just stand really still and don't talk.
And if you can't do it, go back and watch some other ones.
There you go.
Whatever you do,
It will help.
share us with your friends and subscribe.
Exactly.
Or else.
Patience. I'm Jared.
Want to learn patience in my crawl space like Tina Fey?
That's Kate. We'll see you next time.
Don't say my real name. I just made a threat.
I just signed off.
Bye.
Bye. Sad that it's over? Well, it doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't. Like or send comments so we can interact with you even after the videos are over.
Yeah, so subscribe and tell all of your friends.
Share us with everyone, please.
Sharing is caring.
All the cool kids are doing it
Do it now.
now.